Friends, a very good afternoon to all of the participants of today's IPA webinar, Jeevit Jal, Rejuvenating Water for Life. On behalf of IPA, I welcome to the learned panelists, Ms. Sibila Jaksic, Rotary Ranjan Dhingra, Mr. Rajesh Biniwale, Shailaja Deshpande, IPA President Gurmit Singh Arora, and moderator Mr. Sandeep Mendiratna. The webinar is sponsored by ASTRAL Pipes, and I also welcome Mr. Anand Pancholia. Dear participants, I would like a little time to update all of you on IPA, which is a 27 years young organization spread pan-India with 23 chapters and 5,000 plus life members and student members. IPA mission is redefining plumbing standards in India, as plumbing is directly related to human health and the environment. On events and activities, Indian Plumbing Conference takes place every year. Indian Plumbing Today is a monthly magazine, and World Plumbing Day is celebrated around the globe on 11th of March every year. IPA also organizes a learning and knowledge program through quiz known as Indian Plumbing Professional League every year. IPA has also contributed for the call of the day by initiating I Save Water Mission, ISW, where 130 crore liter of water was saved in the year 2019, and target for 2020 is 500 crore liters. Just some more details about IPPL. This year, this will be organized online throughout the country with expected target of 2,000 to 3,000 conferences. There would be national winners, which will be recognized in the plumbing conference at the end of the year. All the contestants will get IP Life memberships. The next IPC is scheduled to be held on 4th and 5th December at Pune with theme Advanced Plumbing for Built Environment. More details will follow soon. Friends, today's learned panelists are having wide experience in the water rejuvenation projects. Apart, we have also got Rotary as an organization which can help you with making available financial resources throughout the country. IPA brings all of them together on this platform today. Now I will introduce to you the today's panelist. Sibila Jaksic is a director of Signes Paysages, a leading French landscape and architecture practice delivering landscape planning and design projects company. Sibila has over 20 years experience of delivering integrated landscape design projects, and in particular flood management schemes, nature-based system, and stormwater management. Her project includes Colombo Wetland Management Strategy 2014 to 16, part of the Metro Colombo Urban Development Project, role consultancy team director. Another one is the Nag Riverfront Rejuvenation Project 2017, which is still ongoing. It is in Nagpur, India. Her role is as the design team leader. It is a 17-kilometer long riverbank development. Sibila is managing all aspects of the project, the design solution for flood protection, public space, restoration of the river ecology, social improvement for the local communities. This experience is directly transferable to a Sri Lankan project also. Another project notable is Launchi River Restoration Project 2009-10, Sichuan, China. Her role is design team, landscape and planning expert. Another panelist of the day is past Deputy Governor Rotarian Ranjan Dhingra. He became governor in the year 1999-2000, the millennium year. He is also the president of Rotary India Water Conservation Trust. During 2019, Rotary International President nominee Shekhar Mehta asked him to chair the Rotary India Water Mission, which is just launched in 2019. Rotary India Water Mission has got a lot of projects to complete during the next 5 years, from 2020 to 2025. Mr. Dhingra is an engineer and MBA by profession and is the managing director of multinational company Laran Group. He is a level 3 major donor and ardent supporter of the Rotary Foundation. He was the chairman of the RI President Celebration of Water Management in Delhi in December 2003, where the chief guest was the Honorable President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Our next panelist is Dr. Rajesh Biniwale. He brings in vast industrial and research experience in various domains of environment, particularly liquid and solid waste treatment issue. More than 25 years experience in R&D project management, ADV and WB projects, UNDP consultant. He is a senior principal scientist at NIRI. He is also contributing as Director General Research for Resurgence Foundation. He is member of committees such as MOEFC, MNRE, Pollution Control Boards, UNDP, Namami Ganga, India, UK, DST Task Force. Rajesh is Masters in Engineering from IIT Roorkee, PhD, DSc, Hokkaido University, Japan, postdoc, Tokyo. He holds MII, CHE, FMA, SC, FIVA. He has more than 50 publications, 3 Indian patents, 3 international patents, contribution to 4 books, software copyright. He is working in collaboration with Japan, Germany, France, Italy, Greece, Romania, Norway, and Finland. Our next panelist is Shailaja Deshpande. She is from Pune. Till 2009, she was running her own interior designer's profession for 15 years. And after retiring from there, she has come to the environment. In 2009-10, she does the postgraduate program in sustainable management of natural resource and nature conservation. In 2011-12, diploma in advanced field botany. From 2014 onwards, she is working on revival and restoration of rivers in Pune. Founder member of Jeevit Nadi, Living River Organization and Ram Nadi Restoration Mission. Also a director of Jeevit Nadi Living River Foundation. Next on the line is Mr. Gurmit Singh Arora, our own president of Indian Plumbing Association. He is also the National Vice Chair of Indian Green Building Council, CII-IGBC. He is also chairman of IGBC Existing Buildings O&M Steering Committee. He has been honored by various associations, namely Builders Association of India, Grand Mumbai Licensed Plumbers Association, Indian Water Works Association, Indian Puck Manufacturers Association, lot of things. He has been awarded Lifetime Achievement Award in 2019 by IPA. His own company is Rajco Metal Industries Private Limited, and the company has been awarded for the Best Quality and Best Partner Award from Hitachi, Certificate of Excellence from Hitachi for Best Schedule Delivery, 100% quality ratings from all its OEM clients. Rajco has over 95% market share, whatever it was commendable. The moderator of the program between the panelists is Mr. Sandeep Mendidivita, a young guy, MBA in marketing, having 19 years extensive senior level experience in international and domestic sales. He is working with Unigulf Air Conditioning Industries LLC Dubai as business leader, international market. He is based in Mumbai. He is treasurer of ISHRE Mumbai chapter. He is chair of CTTC of ISHRE Mumbai chapter. He is also board member of IGBC Mumbai chapter. He is also a National Executive Board member of IPA. दोस्तों, आओ जल का करें सम्मान और हर जीवन में लाएं शान. Over to Mr. Anant Pancholia for his special presentation. I missed to mention that ASTRAL Pipes are the sponsor partner for this show. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you all are hearing me. I'm audible. Is everything all right?
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes,
sir?
yeah, you are audible, sir. You are audible.
Okay, so thanks for this opportunity and welcome all to this evening. ASTRAL Pipes, as you all know, is a plastic processing company involved in plastic processing for the last almost 20 years. And we have been pioneer in introducing many products in India to start CPVC pipes for hot and cold water that started in 1996-97. And we also have been pioneer in introducing a number of other products for drainage and sewerage, for sanitations and few other things. The product that we'll be discussing today is a double-wall corrugated pipe being used as a better and economical substitute of conventional material. So I don't know, somebody has to go click the slides from here. ASTRAL is a Fortune 500 company and a trusted brand in India. We can go to the next slide, ma'am. Yeah, we have presence in almost 4 countries, 12 manufacturing locations, 4,500 employees spread all over. Next slide, please. Some of our products that we are into for infrastructure, for drainage and sewerage, for utilities protection, for telecommunication sector, And the product that we will be discussing is double wall corrugated pipes for drainage and sewerage. Next slide, please. So this is something about our locations and the installed capacities, tonnage-wise in different places. Next slide, ma'am. We are also coming up with one more unit in Bhubaneswar pretty soon. Next slide. This is the product called double wall corrugated pipes, and DREX is our brand. So this is mainly used for drainage and sewerage stormwater applications, basically non-pressure applications, as a substitute of conventional RCC pipe, solid wall PVC pipe, or solid wall SGP pipes. Next slide, please. The options we have in drainage and sewerage is concrete pipes, stoneware, PVC, and solid wall PVC and solid wall SGP as well, conforming to IS 15328, 14333. These pipes currently we produce up to 1000 mm diameter in different locations in India, used by almost all the drainage and sewerage boards pan-India basis, recommended by Ministry of Urban Development, and already accepted throughout now. Next slide, ma'am. These are the specifications being followed for manufacturing of these pipes. The EN 13476, ISO 21138. Now we have IS 16098 Indian standard. This is prevailing for the last almost 5 years now. Next slide, ma'am. These pipes are being produced in 3 different types. Like in PVC, we have class 4, 2.5, 4 kg, 6 kg. Here we have a load bearing strength starting from SN4, SN8, and SN16, like NP2, NP3 in RCC pipe. Next slide, ma'am. This is a slight comparison between the other type of pipe being used for drainage and sewerage, PVC foam, plain PVC pipe, or plain SGP pipe, and we had roll wall corrugated pipes. Next slide, please. The advantage here is that the outer wall and the inner wall are fused together, and there is hollow in between. So from manufacturer's point of view, we save on the raw material part. And the advantage, the technical advantage, is that due to the corrugation profile, these pipes have maximum load bearing strength. So we get maximum load bearing strength with minimum weight of the pipe. And it has excellent anti-corrosion properties for its growth of biological on pipe surfaces. External corrugated pipes profile gives load bearing strength, as I said earlier. Next slide, please. It's very light, easy to handle, easy to transport, no heavy machinery required for installations. Connectivity, we have all the joint manholes, molded manholes in inspection chambers being used for house connections. Inbuilt coupler and sockets, excellent ground corrosion resistance. Next slide, please. This is how the pipes are being joined with the elastomeric rubber rings. Next slide. Again, the rubbering, how it is inserted and jointing is done. Next slide. Already being used by almost all the drainage and sewerage boards all across the country now. Some of the places we have supplied in Maharashtra. Next slide, please. And almost all the smart cities, municipal corporations, drainage and sewerage boards, PHEs, they have all been using it as a better substitute of conventional RCC pipes for drainage and sewerage. Next slide, please. We have so far installed around 2,500 kilometers of various sizes of these pipes, and we have orders in hand around 600 kilometers to be supplied for projects. Next slide. This all it's a small presentation, and any questions, any queries will be answered. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Anand. Thank you very much. And good evening, everybody. Good evening to all the panelists. Good evening to all the participants who have joined us. And I welcome you, all of you, the eminent panelists on this e-panel session hosted by Indian Plumbing Association titled Jeevit Jal, Rejuvenating Water for Life. Thank you, everyone, for your confirmation to be part of it and joining us today from different locations across the globe. I can say now, you can see all. And as our Honorable Prime Minister said that we should be local, be vocal, and go global. So taking this theme ahead, and I think we should start this panel. It's a wonderful panel we are going to have, and I wish all of you good luck. And to start with this, I go with the be local. So our local lady and Mrs. Shailaja Deshpande, and she's working on a Jeevit Nadi project. Madam, my first question to you is, what work do you do for river revival?
Good question, Sandeep ji. First of all, let me congratulate you all as an IPA team to answering your question, as we work with the people for the river. So bringing the people to the river for restoration is our motto, and that's our mission. Now, how we do it with the 6 verticals, which we have been doing it for last couple of years for awareness and action. For awareness, we are organizing nature walks, river walks. We have mobile exhibitions and events by the river, by which we bring in the people more and more to the river. Then there are verticals which are actionable, which we say that from staying at home, you could clean your rivers by using some sort of a transition in your lifestyle, by using some biodegradable and natural products. That's an actionable program. And the 6th vertical, which is very important one, is adopt a stretch. You adopt a stretch closer to the river through the citizen science groups, collating the data, collecting documents, photo documentation, and having a scientific approach towards the ecological restoration of the river. That's what we do. Thank you.
Wow, that's super. It's an inspiration. I really like that you said adopt a stretch wherever you are very close. So wonderful. Yes. If somebody adopted, that means he's getting in ownership of that. And yes, once somebody gets into the ownership, I think that makes a changeability over there. Absolutely. Thank you very much. That was very inspiration. And now I move forward to go vocal. Okay. So we have 2 associations here. One is Rotary Club and one is the Indian Plumbing Association. So I would request our guest, Rotarian Ranjan Dhingra ji. Ranjan Dhingra ji, welcome and thank you very much for joining us on this platform and on this e-panel discussion. My question to you is, welcome sir, what is the Rotary India Water Mission and the task undertaken under this mission? Can you brief us about that?
Thank you very much, Sandeep, for asking me this question regarding Rotary India Water Mission. In fact, Rotary India Water Mission, short, we name it as RIWM. It is the initiative of the Rotary India Water Conservation Trust, RIWCT, which was referred in my introduction by C.S. Gupta a little while before. And it was founded on September the 11th, 2019, by none other than our Rotary International President nominee, Shekhar Mehta. I would just like to come back to one point, that water has been on the agenda of Rotary International since almost 2003 and is now one of the 6 major trust areas of the Rotary International. As a result of the initiative, a presidential conference on water management was held in Delhi way back in December 2003. This was also referred to in my introduction by C.S. Gupta, which firmly set the focus of Rotary in India and water problem in the country by drawing up a kind of roadmap known as Delhi Declaration. And this led to the formation of Rotary India Water Conservation Trust, which was established in 2004 under the aegis of the convenership of our past RA Director and Trustee, Sushil Gupta ji. He is pioneer in this water field. We call him Water Warrior. And thereafter, the RIWCT was formed in 2004, as I said before. We started with RIWM mission. What is the mission and the area, the task undertaken under this RIWM? It is nothing but the optimal sustainable development of water by way of conservation and management for the economic development of the humanity. Since Rotary has a very simple motto of service above self. So what we did under this first areas, the tasks undertaken, we confined ourselves to each and every water project under an acronym called WATER. What do we mean by W? W referred to watershed development. It means check dams, gabion structures, etc., etc. A referred to the awareness activism. You know, this is what part of each and every organization, they must make themselves aware T referred to the transformation of water bodies or the rejuvenation of the water bodies. That's another task, and that is vertical. E is very important because this is association which brought both the organization IPA and Rotary International together. E referred to the efficient use of water, which dealt with reduce, reuse, and recycle. And under IPA, since you have these aerators, we have taken care of that in our complete program, and we are going to use it for, all taps and faucets, etc., etc. So that is the kind of arrangement we are going to have with you people. And the last but not the least is your R, that is rainwater harvesting structures. Rainwater harvesting structure also for the urban and the rural areas to store water and also to charge the aquifers to have the recharging of the bore wells. That's what we have the tasks within us.
Great, superb. And we are very happy that IPA is associated with you in this mission, and really you gave a new definition of water. And I really like the one you said that whatever you're doing, it is added with a word called service. So
Yes.
that makes, it brings more of a apnapan kind of when you connect with through a service. So we are very happy that we are part of your mission, and we are very happy that today you are with us on this.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll come back to you again. And now I go to the another association we have here is the Indian Plumbing Association. And my question to Mr. Gurmit Singh Arora. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for being part of this panel. And since you are heading now the large association IPA and IGBC, so my question to you, you are leading IPA as the national president. What is your perspective on water demand and use in India? So you need to unmute yourself.
Am I audible now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Sandeep. The National Commission on Integrated Water Resources Development, what we call in short NCIWRD, estimates the total demand in 2025 in India to reach 1,093 billion cubic meters. Now, if you look at the breakup of the water demand, you will see irrigation takes away, agriculture, as we are an agricultural economy also, takes away about 80%, drinking water 9%, industry only about 3%. And with that 3% use, you can see the effects of pollution which take place. 2 months we have been sitting at home, and you will see all the rivers in India have suddenly become clean. You find peacocks dancing on the roads in Malabar Hill in Mumbai. You find dolphins off the coast of Mumbai and Marine Drive. So there has been a distinct change just by this 3% not using water, because you're still dumping in untreated 50% waste into the river system. We are not treating all our sewage water, as we know. Having said that, in India, there has been a wide monsoon variance, and as we know that we rely on the rain gods for our water, we are looking from 1998 to 2018, a period of about 20 years, a rainfall of 70% of the requirement to 106%, 6% excess or 22% shortfall. Now, obviously, when there's a shortfall, there's no water for agriculture, which is the main user. There's no water for a lot of the cities. Secondly, India has the distinct position of having 17% of the world's population, but only 4% of the world's fresh water. Now, can you imagine this anomaly where I have 17% of the world's population and only 4% of the world's water? So there is a real problem we have here in how to distribute water among sections of society. Of course, we have the poor, which still have a bucket bath, not a shower bath. We know from the newspapers that Mumbai, 42% of Mumbai's population still lives in the slums. So obviously they don't have showers and taps in their house. They still rely on buckets and getting water from other sources. What is astonishing is that if you look at the total utilizable water resource, which is at 1123 billion cubic meters, 38% or 433 billion cubic meters still comes from groundwater. Only 690 cubic meters come from surface water. Now, when I am saying that 38% still comes from groundwater, look at what we have done to our urbanized cities due to urbanization. Let's go to the IT capital of the world, Bengaluru. I have to dig down 100 meters to 130 meters to touch the water table. Now, can you imagine if I have to dig down 350 feet to actually touch the water table? What am I doing to my water table? Depleting it further and further and further, and then I get into chemicals that I am removing, arsenic and other chemicals which are mixed in my water, which I'll have to again treat my water. So my whole premise is that first, as Ranjan ji said, we must reduce, we must reuse, we must recycle, and as he said, rainwater harvesting, we must replenish. So first premise is we must use less water. Effects of urbanization are taking a toll on all of us. Another example I'll give you, the lakes of Bengaluru. 299 lakes today have become around 39, what they call tanks. We have 39 lakes, and there is one lake which has the distinct ability to catch fire twice in the last 2 years, the Bellundur Lake. Because of industrial pollutants, because of flammable pollutants that we put in the water body. So 66% of the lakes, even in Bengaluru, are still sewage fed. 14% are surrounded by slums. Where again, not only sewage, but other waste, paper waste, your Haldiram waste, your non-biodegradable degradable waste, all goes into the water systems. So this is what the situation right now, and we have to make a massive change. Otherwise, we will have no water for our children and their children to come. Thank you, Sandeep.
Superb. And as you mentioned, just 150 meter, we have to dig down in Bengaluru. Somebody wrote immediately, I read on the chat that they are saying now it is 300 meter. This is an alarming situation for all of us. So I
yes, somewhere 300 meters.
Somewhere 300 meters. So this is really more dangerous, you know, the things the situation is getting. Anyway, thank you very much, sir. And I really feel proud to be part of your association. And really, we are also working voluntary over here. And it is again, a lot of learning for all of us to bring some change in our own life. So as I said that I was just taking him of our Prime Minister. One of our Prime Minister said, go local, go vocal. Now I go global. Because we have today with us architect Sibila Jaksic. It's from France now. So wonderful. Thank you very much, architect Sibila, for joining us and being part of this panel discussion. You are doing amazing work. And my question to you, you are an landscape architect, right? And can you share some of your experience of river project in international market? You know, in the globe, you're doing a lot of projects over there. So can you share some?
Yes, hello to everybody, and thank you for inviting me for your panel discussion. I'm also happy to discover India. I started this project in Nagpur in 2017. So it's my first experience in India, and really what a great country and a great potential. So can I share my screen now? Because I'd like to show you a few pictures about the...
Yeah, I hope you have a screen rights, right? Share screen rights.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 1 second. Is it okay? Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's coming on.
It's okay now, you see?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so I live in Paris, and you know, everybody, that Paris is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And our job of landscape architects is to look after the beauty of the city, to make places accessible and walkable. So if we see Paris is one of more attractive cities, and we recorded 2 years ago like 18 million tourists, that only international tourists. So you can see that if we look after the rivers, after the beauty of the riverfronts, we can get also a very attractive economy from the tourism. So one of our job was, everybody who lives in Paris and is landscape, we always work on Seine riverfront. And if you know, Seine riverfront was actually a car, it was the road. And 10 years ago, the mayor of Paris declared that it has to be now only for pedestrians. So they opened the riverfront, and we started with all small little projects for the bicycle. Some boat camps opened, some restaurants and cafes. So people were really start to like this. So this project was going from 10 years now, and it's still always improving, and they're doing always a new attraction. So you can see that in the summer we have we can have some bathing and bringing some games. It's riverfront becomes like a playground for the citizen and for the tourist. So this is my Parisian experience. I will come back later on Nagpur project. Thank you. So I will turn off my, okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for taking us to Paris. Thank you. It was lovely. They say an evening in Paris. So thank you very much.
Sibila, I hope we get some wine from Paris from you sometime. Huh?
Well, of course. But you also have a good wine.
Great. So I now,
okay.
Yep, sorry. Yeah, I now move to Dr. Rajesh Biniwale, and it's Mr. Dr. Rajesh Biniwale from Nagpur. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And we heard about your large portfolio and your knowledge. And I would just like to straight go to one question from you, that from ancient age, sewage was treated through natural process, and you have invention in it, and reborn the same as plethora sewage, right? Plethora sewage treatment system. Can you explain the water quality after treatment from this system, treatment system, and as compared to other available treatment systems in the market? And what is the impact of this on ecosystem?
Thank you, Sandeep.
Yes.
Thank you for getting me on this panel, first of all, and then putting a question, which we are trying to do certain things in a way where you minimize the energy basically. So why the natural systems are basically to minimize the energy requirement in the sewage treatment. The question you specifically put was like, it is being done from the ancient period. And yes, it is being done from the ancient period. Our ancient literature do say it. In fact, in many of the languages, including Sanskrit and Telugu and Marathi, there are several plant species which has been specified. I can name one is a Meta Tamraraj. Meta Tamraraj is nothing but the Canna indica, which we currently use as the English name. And this plant has been known that it survives in a waterlogging condition, as well as it uptakes some of the pollutants, and also it provides some oxygen to the water so that some of the oxidation reactions can occur. Now the question comes, what are the efficiency and what kind of water quality we get out of it? Surely these treatments are necessarily reducing the pollution load, and they can be designed to treat for the given quality of treated water, subjected to certain conditions that industrial wastewater need not to be there, because these are the natural systems, and natural systems are generally susceptible to something like highly acidic, highly alkaline wastewater if it comes, or sometimes if it is a lot of heavy metals, then the uptake of the heavy metals will built into the plant and then it will create another problem. So barring the industrial waste, soft waste like sewage or even waste from the food industries, it can be treated definitely. Now the quality of water can be designed, but at the same time there could be certain limitations, to be frank with you, like if we are looking at the current situations where we are becoming too demanding based on the whatever the National Green Tribunal has asked to meet currently 10, 50, 10 kind of standards. So you'll need some polishing treatment, but nevertheless large amount of pollution load can be reduced, and which can easily reach like 20 milligrams per liter of BOD. This kind of situation can definitely be made through this. The only limitation, of course, there is a trade-off. The limitation is space requirement, because the natural systems kinetics is always slow, and therefore this kinetics requires larger space where the energy requirement is very minimal. So it's a trade-off between the low energy and the larger space. So if you have a space, I would always recommend to go with this technology, which is greener one. And not only that, it is also help to reduce your maintenance cost, because most of the things are natural. So you avoid a lot of electromechanical equipment. which means you not only the energy, but you also avoid the maintenance cost on it. So that is how it works. It can definitely meet certain standards, but certain limitations are always there. But for the sewage treatment, definitely this is very useful. And when these are the smaller plants, like at in situ treatments at societies or somewhere, these are wonderfully working.
Great. Yes, Gurmit Singh ji, you want to say something?
In fact, Dr. Saab, no chemical use also. Chemical free, unlike STPs.
Yeah, it's a chemical free. It's a chemical free. Yeah, right. Rightly pointed out, Singh Saab.
So that means for your green building, you must be using this, Gurmit ji, right? Yeah. Thank you, sir. That's great. And the more eco-environmental kind of a system, sewage treatment, which is really great for everybody's understanding. So now I go back to Shailaja ma'am, to you. Do you feel there is a connection between a surface water and a groundwater?
Yes, definitely. If you could share the slide, I'll just start talking on the slide. Basically, yes. But while you share the slide, I will tell you that there is a very, very interconnection between the surface water and subsurface water. Now, the top photo which you are looking at is at the source of the river. Any river source is usually a live spring, which is the water coming from the ground. Then, if you say, we broadly divide the river into three phases. First is a phase which is a young phase, where she starts from the source. Then the second phase is a mature phase, because we call her as a living river. It's a living water. So second phase, if you say it's a mature, when she comes in the floodplain, there is a give and take from the banks to the water. We call it as a hyphoric zone, where the shallow aquifers get recharged during the floods. And when the rivers go in the base flows happen in our country most of the time except the monsoon. So the water table from those shallow aquifers, the charged aquifers, start oozing out, which makes the feeder for the rivers, reducing the pollution because there is a natural water source coming from the banks. So the ground and the water has an interrelation, a very cohesive relation. The third phase, I would call it as mouth of the river, where she confluences with another river or to the oceans or the seas. Here she behaves differently, in a sense that she is coming almost to the sea level, where she has reduced her velocity, and there is an exchange of saline water and fresh water. At the same time, nowadays, our rivers are not meeting the seas. Our rivers are not meeting the oceans. And due to that, because the water table is lower than the surface water at the sea level, sea ingresses into the groundwater, and you realize that most of the duck wells along the coastal lines receive the brackish water because the fresh amount of water is not reaching the oceans. So it's very important when she starts from the source and she ends at the mouth. There are very different ecological processes she goes through, and there is every now and then there is an interconnection between the ground and the river, and that is the most important reason that any natural form of the river, whether it's the banks or the surface, has to be kept as natural as possible if you need to have a Jeevit Jal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I really liked it, that I really feel that ownership in you, you know, the ones you said, that state of ownership, when you were describing and you were calling she, and so it was like connection between your and river. Amazing, amazing. Thank you very much. That's a great.
But Shailaja ji, is it she or he?
It's one he is Brahmaputra.
Okay, okay.
Brahmaputra is he, otherwise it's all she.
So I think that you should adopt.
In Marathi, it is called as Nad, not Nadi.
Okay, that's great. So I go to Dhingra Saab, Rotarian Mr. Dhingra. So, sir, my question to you now is, it's a wonderful mission you're working on. So what would this mission, when would this mission be fulfilled? And who are the partners with you in this mission? So your mic is mute. You have to unmute it. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep, for asking me this question, which actually refers back to a kind of mission we have with us, and that is starting from 2020, finishing on 2025. Why do we have this 5-year span? Because Ministry of Jal Shakti has a Jal Shakti Abhiyan, which also has a program of 2020 to 2025. So we are matching our program with the Ministry of Jal Shakti only. Now, if I see to it, this comprehensive and holistic program called WATER, WATER, there are certain targets against each and every vertical. Unless we talk about the targets, we cannot go back to the mission completion as such, because each target has to be referred to individually. So if I look into that, let's say W, which refers to the watershed development, what is the target that we Rotarians have given to ourselves? That is 10,000 check dams to be built in 5 years, 2020 to 2025. Why 10,000? In fact, Government of India, Ministry of Jal Shakti has a target of building 1 lakh check dams in 5 years. Our Rotary International President nominee thought that we must do 10% of the total projects being undertaken by the Government of India. That is the reason we have got 10,000 check dams. And if I look into the value of these 10,000 check dams, you will be surprised to know that this is approximately 350 crores, just check dams. So that is a kind of humongous target we are given to ourselves. If I look into the A, which refers to the awareness and activism, here we have a target of touching at least 50 crores people. 50 crores in terms of the work we do, and in terms of the Facebook we have, in terms of the WhatsApp messages we have, all kinds of things. By the way, we also have Rotary India Water Mission has a Facebook. I'd like each one of you to touch upon and give your liking to that. Well, and here the amount of money we are going to spend on is approximately 8 crores of rupees in 5 years. Then under T, I refer to as the transformation or rejuvenation of the bodies. I think Gurmit talked about the such water bodies, and we have, let's say, about 10,000 water bodies to be rejuvenated or to be transformed. And I'll be pleased to join hands with all of you in this very mission. And the total amount we are giving here is approximately 10 crores of rupees. Now coming over to E, which I always say is the talk of the present time, is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Under each section, we have got about a separate target altogether. Like 25 lakhs households to have these reduce aerators. Then we have 15,000 micro irrigation plant to be taken care of, and approximately 5,000 grey water recycling systems to be taken care of. And what is the amount we are looking into? 50 crores for reduce, 60 crores for micro irrigation, and 90 crores for recycling of the grey water. Last but not the least, the rainwater harvesting. We said about 50,000 structures to be made, irrespective rural or urban, I said before, and for storage or for charging aquifers. And what is the total amount we have in mind is about 50 crores of rupees. If you see, that's about 600-700 crores of rupees in 5 years. We Rotarians are going to take care of, we bring from whatever sources, CSR, but this is the task we have taken to us, and the mission will be completed by 2025. That's what we have. Thank you. Sir,
I would like to, in continuation of you explained it so well, the kind of amount and budget you were saying, and it was humongous, I can imagine. My question to you, only one segment, if I talk about, you were saying that 25 lakh houses water you're going to work on. So there you think IPA can play a role with you together?
Absolutely right. I said earlier itself, you're one of our major partners for that. And the editors which we are writing here, or we are talking about, nothing but getting from you people. You are one of a major partner for that. And let me just share with you,
yes,
we have approximately 38 districts in the country, Rotary districts, and about 3,600 Rotary clubs in the district, in India, having 160,000 Rotarians all over. We have different kind of training sessions. We have level 1, level 2. By this time, within the last 3 weeks' time, we have taken advantage of this COVID-2019, that we have gone through level 1 and level 2 trainings to almost covering entire country. And each and every place, we are promoting our partnership with you in this very segment.
Sir, I'm really happy to hear, and it is really motivation, you know, and now when I talk about IPA, I can talk this part of also to the world wherever I travel. So again, I'm just adding, I'll take one more minute of yours. I'm sorry. Yeah. Do we have any, do we do any check after that control of, like, if you have fixed an aerator over there for 25 lakh houses, or it is because you have a force of 160,000 Rotarian, so they take care of that, and you're doing a lot of training also for
absolutely, that. Absolutely right. But this again is a matter of discussions with you people, how to develop that after sales service, after the AMC kind of thing. We'll come back to you. No doubt.
That is great. Gurmit ji, can you just unmute your mic? I want to ask you, or with your permission, I want to take this.
Yes.
So can we do some kind of a training program for all these 160,000 Rotarians? You know, it will help them.
100%. We can do it online like this. We don't need to meet at all, because we are not going to meet for the next 6 months to 9 months. But we can do it for you, sir. There's no problem.
Great. So thank you, Dhingra ji. Wonderful insight you have given us. And as I said earlier also, like aap bhi seva kar rahe hain, you are doing service. We are also volunteer here. We will be happy to be part of this large mission and to give the benefit to the society at large. So now, Gurmit ji, I want to continue with you only. Okay. Since buildings are the major consumer of water, as Vice Chairman of CIA IGBC, because you have another cap also to wear. So how do you see IGBC contribution in saving water in buildings?
Yeah, number one, I wear a turban, I don't wear a cap. only fooling. I'll answer your question. You see, the UN Environmental Program states that 30% of the fresh water in a city and 30% of the world's effluents are produced by buildings. Now, having said that, the IGBC has a very big responsibility of looking at how we can save water, recycle water, reuse water, and of course, renew water, the 4 R's that we follow. Let me give you a little background. The IGBC green footprint in the country is now 7.16 billion square feet. We are not only the largest green building council in India, we are the second largest in the world. When we started, I'm going a little away from your question, Sandeep, with your permission. When we started, the cost of a green building was 18% extra than a conventional building. Today, it's less than 1%. So that's why a lot of developers, a lot of builders, metro stations, railway stations, healthcare, hospitality, all going for green buildings. Our aspiration is to become the biggest green building council in the world, and by 2022, when India turns 75, our target is 10 billion square feet. Having said that, we are right now at 5,894 registered projects. 1995 are already certified, the rest are pre-certified. We give a pre-certification, and based on the pre-certification, the developer or the owner of the project has to comply with certain norms that we have given them a platinum, gold, or a silver. IGBC has saved already 28.6 billion liters of water per annum. through green building certification, which is the annual water requirement, 1 month water requirement for Hyderabad at present. I'm sorry. The water saving on a building is about 45,000 kiloliters per annum per million square feet of building, per 10 lakh square feet. So certainly there is a lot of saving. We are looking at, we have net zero energy buildings in India where they do not need to get any energy from the grid. They produce their own energy off and on site by solar or by other means of energy that they can produce, wind, water, and they are net zero, means they do not need any energy from the municipal corporation. There are net positive buildings also. So IPA and IGBC are now formulating a net zero water rating system where we will have a lot of projects which will not require any water from the municipal corporation. We will recycle our water by treating 50% of the water, using it for gardening, for cooling towers, for other construction sites. I was in a panel discussion with the IBIS Vice President Engineering, and he said, boss, IBIS hotels are anyway so small, we have no landscaping. Where will we use the treated water? We do not know what to do with the treated water. I said, you give it to other construction sites, give it back to BMC, the municipal corporation, or even put it in the drain. At least the water is treated. It's not sewage that you're putting untreated water into the drain. Right now, we have a lot of sites which are net zero certified in India. The Plant 13 Annexi building, Godrej and Boyce in Mumbai is net certified. The international cargo terminals at Navi Mumbai are net zero, not energy, but water also. The CII Godrej Green Building Center in Hyderabad, it produces more energy that it can give, and it's 90% net zero on water. The ICICI RSETI, which is the Rural Self-Employment Training Institute, I went there for the inauguration where the ICICI chairman, Mr. Bhargav, was also there. That is net zero water, net zero energy. We have the Sagar Boarding School. Mr. M.K. Gupta, one of our renowned consultants from MEP consultants from Delhi, has done this school. In Alwar Tijara, again, no water from the grid, no water from the municipal corporation, net zero, it's a boarding school. So there are certainly a lot of projects in India where we are looking at net zero. We do not need any assistance from the municipal corporation for energy and water, and that's where we are headed for. That is what the IGBC is doing. I think I've given you enough background on the IGBC. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I think now we'll have a more of a green riverfront projects also. We are going to look into that. So, yes. So, Architect Sibila, I'm very excited and looking forward for you. The second part of the presentation, which you said that I want to talk about the Nagpur project, your Nag River project. So, can you throw some light on that? It will be really great.
Yes. I will show you. I will share again my screen.
We are looking forward.
Okay. So this one and okay. So as you know, the project was started 2 years ago on initiative of the Nagpur municipality and with the funds of AFD, who is a French development bank. So we were selected as a team of consultancy to work on to bring up the project and to develop the strategy. So the Nagpur is a green city, basically, and there is a 3 river. And so the smart city project in India, so Nagpur was selected as one of these projects. So metro project is one of the target, and second target is to get green city. So our part is to get Nagpur green. So what's happening? The problem, just let me see how I can change my, okay. So there is a few stresses about this Nag River. The major stress is the Nagpur flood risk. So, you know, in 2015, there was a huge flood that caused a lot of damages to the city. So this was our first input. And the second one was the ecological status of the river. As you know, there is a lot of solid waste disposal, but also sewage water is not collected. So all the slum and other some houses, all the sewage water is going. So it's the ecology of the river is in very poor state. So we work with the University of Nagpur. They collected some data, and that it's actually in there is like no ecology anymore. So the project is about the target is how to mitigate impacts of flooding and then how to regenerate this river ecology. So as we are architect and urban designer planners, we start with the reglementation. So in India, you have there are some books, there are some reglementation that say that 50 meters next to the river edge, there shouldn't be any construction. So this 15 meter is dedicated to maintaining the river for the flooding or whatever. So this has to be buffered. So we started with this, try to show to the municipality that this rule has to be implemented on the ground. So saying that, this is what does it mean on the map. So we were just set off for the 15 meters next to the river, and we find out that there is actually a very small portion that there is no construction. So I mean, what to do now? How to continue the project as so many buildings are around? Well, this is what does it mean? 15 meters buffer around the river, and this buffer is basically wouldn't be unused. So it's to make bikeways, to make some sitting areas for the people, some ghats, you know, ghats, well, so people can get next to the river. And so we were doing our project. So it's about this greenway. So there is 17 kilometers of the river, and from Ambazari Lake to the Padi area. So it's to develop this green stretch along the river with many walkways and pedestrian and bicycle. And the second action would be to connect all the little green spaces that are next to the river, to connect them, to improve them, to put some playgrounds, and to connect them with the river. So voila, this is one of my favorite view on the river when it's all new. This is from a view from the metro. Like imagine you are in a new metro and you actually see the river. So this is our vision, how the river should be. This is about Shankar Nagar area. There is a little slum area. So the idea is to keep these people there, but to give them new houses and to free the riverfront. So another area we were studying is this is Center Point School, Old Padi. It's also a huge area. There is some railway passing. So all this area should be given for the park. So if there is flooding, so we should concentrate. I mean, this is to be for the flood to go. And then this could be, when there is no flooding, it could be a nice park for the people in this area. So this is another picture. This is Sita Buddhi. You know, there is a new center that is a building. So why not putting all the vendors, street vendors next to the river, make them nice kiosk and bring people to the river. So this is our last image for this NAG project. Thank you.
Wow, that's really, really beautiful. When are we going to see it?
So listen, now the situation is we delivered DPR. This is 200 million euro project.
Oh.
So now they have to approve. It's going to the state to be approved. And apparently before us, there is this JICA project, which is more maybe interesting for you because they are doing these sewage treatment plants, 6, I think, all along the river. And then we are coming after them to make the beautiful after they do the work. So we are working actually with Japanese people because we have to, you know, to put together our 2 projects.
Wow. Thank you very much, Architect Sibila. Now, Dr. Rajesh Ji, I'm coming straight to you in continuation of the same. It was an amazing project, I can say. And since I have a lot of roots to Nagpur. So as you have been consultant for very prestigious Namani Ganga project, what are your findings for pollution of river, suggestions and implementation to rejuvenate Ganga river? And what are the quality measures noticed post-rejuvenation as we all consider water of Ganga river as bios as many occasions?
When we refer to rivers of the India, definitely the first name comes the Ganga.
Yes.
Because that is just not because of some beliefs, but it is because of the lot of people are dependent for their livelihood on Ganga. Almost it touches to the 11 states and irrigation in the 11 states, then the some activities along with the water, they're all dependent on the Ganga, and therefore that river is very important. Similarly, there are many other rivers which are important as Mrs. Deshpande was talking about many rivers and the rejuvenation of the river. Some of the rivers which are not seen as, and today they are also important to us. Now, rejuvenation is basically, to me, appears as, see, water has its quality of getting self-rejuvenated. If a time period is given, if a stretch is given, because where you don't put any kind of pollutants again and again. So if an unpolluted stretch is given, where you are not intervening or you are not discharging any pollutants, then water has its own capacity, own turbulence, own interaction, because river is not only the water. River is its interaction with the sunlight, its interaction with the sediments, its interaction with the air, and all biotic, abiotic media which is flowing through the water is all what is called the river. And therefore, river in terms of rejuvenation has got its own capacity. Ganga has got a special property, something like there is a virus called bacteriophage. When you say virus, it is not always deadly. Sometimes it is beneficial also. So this bacteriophage virus is actually killing the bacteria which are around, and therefore it is also imparting that property of self-purification to the Ganga. Whereas all the turbulence and then from where it is flowing, some phytochemicals getting dissolved because it is coming from the Himalayas, and that is all contributes to the Ganga's water as a more purified water, as we all Indians believe in. To me, why Ganga is polluted now is, or there are some different views in this last 60 days, 50 days, but currently what is the pollution status is, because we are being discharging lot of pollution load to the Ganga. And if we can control it, say for example, ZLD is one of the things which has been promoted or which has been recommended into several states which comes under Ganga basin. If it is implemented in the spirit, particularly by the industries, today with the lockdown situation, we understood that if the industries are closed, almost 50% pollution load has gone, and therefore you are seeing here and there the news that this river has been cleaned, that river has been cleaned, and you have started seeing the dolphins in the Ganga back again. So this is what the pollution load reduction is the first thing which we should do, which nature has imposed on us compulsorily in this particular period. Sewage is still flowing, mostly untreated also. If we can treat this, in my opinion, having the very stringent norms for treatment of the plant of the sewage are not going to help. What is going to help is target the absolute pollution load reduction into the phases, and thereby invest into pieces. There need not to be very large investment at one go, and you should put a lot of plants and then meet drinking quality water standards. That's not required. Okay, drinking water quality, nobody is asking, but we are almost asking drinking water quality, because when it's your BOD 10, there is no difference between achieving BOD 10 and BOD 5. It requires the same technical skills and technical equipments to achieve the below 10. And if you have to achieve below 10, if you have to achieve almost like 5, it's almost reaching to your drinking water. So that is not required. Requirement is first reduce the pollution load which is going to the rivers, not only the Ganga, but other rivers as well. So that is my first take. And the one point which I said already, there are special properties to the Ganga, and other rivers are also having the property of self-rejuvenation, because they are also flowing through the turbulent things. They are also, like the one slide which is shared was a young age. It is being all through the mountains and the very rough terrains, and then it comes to the terrains which are much more smooth terrains. The more smooth terrains towards the end of the river, which is meeting to the sea. But in between also we can create certain things like turbulence by artificial means as well. So that is what my take on the river cleaning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That was really very informative. And yes, you are absolutely right. There are a lot of rivers which are also part of our life today. And Ganga is because it's the #1 river which everybody we are connected with. So thank you for your insight and suggestions. Now I would go to Shailaja ma'am again. Okay. Now, how do you look at wastewater pollution?
When we actually started working on the rivers, basically we are common people. We are not the experts, but we realized that there is a certain type of pollution. There is a solid waste in the river and there is a toxic waste in the river. And when we started looking at it, we realized that there has been a research done by Dr. Moge, a senior scientist at NCL, where he has mentioned what type of pollutants are coming from the domestic part. And if you see the chart here and you see the type of chemicals which are coming, we realize that 40 grams of pollutants are getting released by every person by use of domestic personal hygiene and domestic cleaning chemicals. And when we realized that, we said that we need also to find out the ground reality. So if you could switch on to the next slide. So we started monitoring the water quality of a particular stretch where there is an ad hoc stretch team works on. And we came to know, if you see the chart, the RW describes the river water, where cadmium, lead, and DDT. Now DDT has been banned for so many years. Then monocrotophos. The second column shows the water hyacinth. How much water hyacinth is taking up the pollutants, where it is seen 78.08, copper is 6.61. Then there is another pesticide which is at the bottom. Then we also monitored post-Ganesh festival immersion pollutants which are coming into the river, when we realized there are a lot of heavy metals also entering. Now the source of it is unknown because they are all non-point source pollutions. If you have an industrial stringent norms, you could do something about it. But whatever is coming from the domestic part, or there are multiple motor garages which are along the river bank, who we don't know who's treating and who is releasing what. Everything is coming to the river. So this needs to be addressed in some way or the other. And particularly we also realized during this COVID-19 period, we were observing the water, the turbidity, the smell, and whatever the plants, ecologically what is growing into the water. And we realized that we also are connected with the fishermen. So as soon as the COVID-19 was announced, and 15 days, the fishermen were very happy. They were getting a very good catch in the rivers. And last week when I spoke to the fisherman, I realized he said कि नहीं madam ji अभी ज़्यादा fish नहीं मिल रहा है. Now these are the type of species right now which lay eggs throughout the year, which are not the native species. Native species are all gone because whatever we have done in last 100 years. Before that, it was not the condition of the rivers. So when we spoke to the fishermen, we realized that there is something happening into the river. And currently, due to the COVID-19, lot of disinfectants and lot of chemicals through hand sanitizers, which are polypropylene glycol, then sodium hypochlorite. Sodium hypochlorite is a major disinfectant which is entering the river, which has a chlorine, which creates trihalomethanes, which are highly carcinogenic. When we realize that it is also impacting the aquatic fauna, so what to do with it? I think I leave this question for the people who are doing a lot of expertise into science, like Dr. Biniwale and the technological people of IPA community as a team. So unless and until the science and technology comes together to find a solution on this waste water, it's not going to solve our problem. And for that, every community and every expertise has to come to the force. And I think Dr. Biniwale would be the right person to talk about the current pollution into the rivers due to the COVID-19. I leave it to him to answer.
Okay, so Dr. Rajesh, I would like to add on this since Shailaja ji said that you should also join her in answering this thing. So based on this COVID-19 pandemic crisis, what is the change scenario for sewage treatment and its management?
Shailaja ji has touched a very important topic which largely has been ignored. Not only COVID, before also I'll just say one thing. So personal care products and other emerging pollutants, these are called the emerging pollutants. And there are very, very new emerging pollutants now which are pathogens. Pathogens have not been considered so detailed before. But what happens is if you are having the symptomatic or asymptomatic patients which are having the coronavirus in their body, and if it comes into the sewage and actually it flows through the sewage to various places, it's actually one of the way the virus would spread. There are already studies started which are looking after kind of characterization of the sewage to identify the spread and the possible spread from modeling through this monitoring of the sewage. Now that is not that straightforward as it looks like to be studies have started, because sewage is a highly contaminated kind of and highly polluted kind of material. And from where isolating particular virus and then isolating RNA and studying their RNA structure with PCR and other things, it's not that straightforward, but still it is one of the way at looking at it. Coming to the point where we are we need to look at the different ways of the treatment of this sewage now is basically looking at adding some advanced oxidation processes before the secondary treatment of the sewage treatment plant. I was promoting, I was rather pushing this into various committees, including one is a State Expert Appraisal Committee, where a lot of people like Singhs up building, a lot of buildings are doing, and then they come for clearance. So I am pushing it for whenever there is a hospital, we have certain other chemicals such as antibiotics. Antibiotics being administered into hospital wards, and the patient excreta do carry a lot of antibiotics. And these antibiotics, straightforward, if it goes to the secondary treatment, where it is a biological treatment in mostly the sewage treatment plant, the bacteria there will learn how to eat this over a period of time. And there is a possibility that the antibacterial resistance bacteria will get created over there, antibiotic resistance bacteria. And these antibiotic resistance bacteria are called superbugs. God can't save you if it gets into your body, even giving any antibiotic. So now the second, it is just a bacteria which is getting into the superbug kind of mechanism. Well, the only way to not to happen this is, let this bacteria not see the antibiotic molecule as it is. So break it before. break it before it is subjected to the secondary treatment. And that can happen with the advanced oxidation processes. Same advanced oxidation processes can also be used for disturbing a kind of protective layer. There are the 4 structural proteins in coronavirus, and one of them is the tentacle, which is S protein, and there is an M protein, which is actually the kind of layer which is forming a protective layer protein. So if you can break this virus become inactive, and the highly oxidizing agents are definitely useful for this, and therefore advanced oxidation process, so whatever the process you choose, but that has to be included into the process flow sheet now. Process flow sheet can not be the same as before. It has to be changed. On the one side, I definitely believe that the pandemics are not new. They always appear after almost about 100 years, and we have to live with them for a year or so. After that, we continue with the vaccines and other things, and we get over it. But not less than 5 years we will require this, in my opinion. That it's not that a virus will stay as active and will be hampering us for 5 years, but in various mutations and all those things which are happening into the virus, the sewage treatment plants will need it for at least for next 5 years. For human health, there will be something different. That's a completely different subject, where different vaccines and different medicines that will take care of it. But for the sewage treatment plant, the flow sheets has to be modified as on today. Currently, last 2 days, I was in a meeting with the Environment Department also, and I started saying this. People are having slight resistance to accept the new flow sheets, but they will definitely do. So new flow sheets are required for the sewage treatment.
Superbly explained. Thank you very much, sir. Really, really great insight. Really great. I think I can read a lot of chats down, and people are so happy, and the kind of knowledge we are sharing here. Thank you very much, sir, for giving a great insight. And I go to now Gurmit Singh ji. My question to you: can you give us some more information how in our everyday lives we can save or use less water, especially post COVID-19 lockdown? Since we are talking about this subject.
Thank you, Sandeep. Before I give you the answer, I would like to read a small WhatsApp which was put yesterday by she's part of the IGC board. Yes, am I audible?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Am I audible, Sandeep?
Now it's okay.
Okay. So I would like to read out a WhatsApp of a renowned architect from Kolkata. She has put this yesterday. She's on the IGBC board. You know, Kolkata had a storm yesterday after 100 years or so. She says, I have never seen anything like this super cyclone in my lifetime. As far as inland as Kolkata, hell hath no fury like nature scorned. Now, why I have read this is that we are scorning nature, and we are accepting that nature will not fight back, but nature is fighting back. A small microorganism like a COVID-19, we are not able to solve. And we feel we can solve all the problems in the world, and we will go to Mars, and we will go to the moon, and we will capture the whole universe one day. Water, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the 5 Panchbhutas, 5 elements of nature. For you, Sibila, what we call Jal, Vayu, Agni, Akash, and Dharti. Jal is the water component, the element, and it is these 5 elements which make up everything in nature. If we don't learn to respect these elements, certainly nature is going to fight back. And what that architect wrote yesterday, we will all be feeling the same. We are already feeling helpless today. It's very nice. We're sitting in our homes. We are protected. Let's go back to work. Many of us will get the infection, and then we'll realize how nature is fighting back. I am going to tell you some very simple things how to save water. Number 1, learn to respect water. It is part of our lives. We cannot live without it. Number 2, treat and reuse all the wastewater for flushing, gardening, cooling towers, or even if you can't use it, put it back, treated sewage into the BMC waistline, or give it to construction sites around you. Rainwater harvest every drop that you can. Use low flow fixtures. The Indian Plumbing Association has a water efficient products India guide, which is a code, and it is revised already in 2019. By using this, the Rotary Club is adopting this, as Ranjan ji has said. You will automatically save 35 to 40% water without compromising on the comfort of the user. And you can use low flow fixtures, you can use low flow sanitary ware, low flow clothes and dishwashers. Use now post COVID-19, you want to be contactless. Use sensor operated urinals, sensor operated sanitary ware is now available. Please close the tap while you brush, you soap, you wash, or you shave. Now, you want to wash your hands with soap vigorously for 20 seconds. Wash your hands 12 times, you take away 25 liters water. Wash your hands 24 times a day or 25 times a day, you take away 50 liters of water. My municipal corporation in Mumbai used to give me 210 liters of water per head per day. It went down to 185, 135. Right now it's at 90 liters per head per day to a maximum of 5 occupants per flat. My Battanwali Bai, Sibila, my maid servant which comes to wash the utensils, looks at my servants behind, flirts with them, and there goes my 200 liters. Because the tap is still running when she's soaping. So when you soap, you shave. It's only a joke, okay? Otherwise they'll throw me out of the house now. And I have to still live in the house till the lockdown is on. So when you soap, you save, whatever you do, please close your tap. The water is running and it's very precious. Stop all the leaks, because leaks take away a lot of water. I don't want to get into the data, otherwise that'll be too long. But trust me, a small tap which is leaking can take away at least 50 to 75 liters of water in a day. Use a bucket bath. None of you are Michael Jackson or Beyonce. You want to sing? Come to your bedroom and sing as loudly as you want. But don't sing under your shower. It's not free. Water is not free. Just because water is not charged what it's supposed to be charged, come out and sing. Don't sing under your shower. A bucket bath is sufficient. I use a bucket in my factory, not at home. I won't lie to you. But one bucket is sufficient for a bath. You don't need more. Use a bucket to wash your car, to wash your driveway, your balcony, your terrace. I've seen people using hose pipes. People using hose pipes even to clean a gutter, and all the water is still going into the same gutter. When you wash your lentils, you wash your vegetables, wash it in a pan rather than in flowing water. Use that water for your plants. Your plants will start smiling because it has protein, it has other nutrients in it. Don't use your toilet as an ashtray. It's not a dustbin, it's not an ashtray. You put your hair in that damn toilet and you flush it. These are very small things, Ranjan ji, even which we can teach through the Rotary Club, where we can all become part of the solution. Everybody can save water. And I would like to conclude again the 4R principles: reduce, recycle, reuse, replenish. Now, Sandeep, with your permission, I want to read a small WhatsApp message I got yesterday. Can I do that, sir?
Yeah, please. Yes.
I'll read little slowly. We will never go back to our normal. Normal never was. Our pre-corona existence was not normal other than what we normalized. We normalized greed, we normalized iniquity, exhaustion, depletion. We normalized extraction, disconnection, confusion. We normalized rage, hoarding, hate, and the lack of trust. We should not long to return, my friends. We are being given the opportunity to stitch a new garment, one that fits all of humanity and nature. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not the owner of this earth. You are one of a small part. There are many parts to this earth, as we have realized. Let's be a part of this earth and not start owning this earth and exploiting everything. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That was a really great insight and quite alarming and motivating. I think everybody I saw that in the chat, they were appreciating all your words. Thank you for your Superb motivation words. Now I go to Dhingra ji, again coming back to you. And I just want to understand, since you have a huge mission you're working on, and you have given a certain deadlines to that for 5 years, from 2020 to 2025. And I think when this entire setup was done, the pandemic was not considered that this kind of a situation is going to come. Yeah. So now, what role you think the impact of this pandemic has come to you, and is it going to shift your deadlines, or you see a lot of challenges out there?
Let me just share with you one thing, Sandeep. Deadlines are not going to be shifted, not going to be extended at all. Reason, you know, every year the Rotary International President has got a theme. And our theme for 2020 and 2021, because we start the year from 1st of July, end on 30th of June, is Rotary Opens Opportunities. And this year's theme was Rotary Connects World. You know, through these webinars, through this all virtual meetings, we have started connecting so many people all over the world. And we have got so much of support and a kind of even, you know, the operation and also the support from each and everyone from all over the world, that they all say, you carry on with your projects, you're the mission, we are with you. So it means we are not going to extend our dates at all. However, let me just share one thing here, that apart from COVID 2019, I'm sure this will go one day, and we are all starting our work. And each and every Rotarian, especially in the country, in India, as I said, about 160,000 of us, we have taken a pledge. And every day we are going ahead with our verticals and the mission. You know, Rotary International President nominee Shekhar Mehta, he started with Rotary India Literacy Mission. That's to see that we eradicate illiteracy. We Rotarians are famous to an extent that we support the government of India in eradicating polio. So that is the kind of networking we all have. So we said, okay, fine, we had the Rotary India Water Conservation Trust. We now have the Rotary India Water Mission. Besides this Rotary India Literacy Mission, Rotary India Water Mission, we have 6 more missions now.
Oh.
And when I hear Dr. Rajesh, Namame Gange, we are talking about, Rotary India Sanitation Mission is part of that also. We are working along with the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Then we have Rotary India Health, Curative and Preventive. That's also another mission we have. We have also Rotary India Environment Mission. And under the Environment Mission, we have a project called, or acronym called STAR, S-T-A-R. S again is solid waste, T is a tree plantation, A is awareness anyway, R is a reusable energy. We talked about solar and water and all the wind energy and all kinds of things. Friends, if I see that all, with all these missions together and the huge kind of program we have in for the country, the Rotary International with 1.2 million people and about 200 geographical areas with 36,000 clubs. We are going ahead with our motto, that is service above self. We are going ahead with our targets and will achieve. I rather urge each one of you to join Rotary Movement in having this water mission. एक हिंदी में एक मैं बोलना पसंद करूंगा अगर आप अलाउ करें तो.
Please.
जो मैंने कहीं पे एक विचार पढ़ा था, पानी बचाया जा सकता है लेकिन बनाया नहीं जा सकता. दादाजी ने नदी में पानी देखा, पिताजी ने कुएं में, हमने नल में, बच्चों ने बोतल में. अब उनके बच्चे, फ्यूचर जनरेशन कहाँ देखेंगे? जरा विचार कीजिए. और दोस्तों, पानी को बर्बाद ना करें, कंजर्व करें, प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट दें, यही मेरी आपसे विनती है. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Wonderful, beautiful, very well said. Wow, very well said. Thank you very much, sir. And we are really happy and we are really charged up with these words. And you said very well that we connect. This year theme was Rotary Connect World, and digital platform has already done the part of that. And like we are talking about connecting rivers also. I think the kind of a connection we are finding right today only. So if this connection goes on and it extends to its wings, I think that whatever water, Jeevit Nadi, Jeevit Jal, everything will be there and we will see. Yes, ma'am, you want to say something? Yes.
Yeah,
Please,
I just want to say one line.
Yes, yes.
Jeevit Jal is nothing but reviving the rivers in ecological way. We have to understand the river, her processes, her meanders, the way she moves, what she wants. The current COVID-19 has told us we do not need any type of developments along the river bank. The rivers will rejuvenate themselves by themselves if we leave them aside. Simply, we do not intervene. The Jeevit Jal is going to be stayed here forever for the benefits of the future generation, and future generation is not human centric. It is the earth which has all type of living beings on it. So it is a right to life and we have to consider and respect that. And that's it all right. Wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, coming straight to you, Architect Sibila, I just want to understand from you, since I'm talking about this pandemic situation of COVID-19, this situation is talking about social distancing. This situation is talking about physical distancing. So what will be your strategy now? You are a landscape architect, you're doing riverfronts. How are you going to design the riverfront on that? You basically design the riverfront so people can come, they can play, they can walk, they can do the cycling, they have a games, family get-togethers. Now, how you are going to work in that? I find it very challenging for you. I'm sorry. You're mute. You can unmute yourself.
So, yeah, you're right. This is a big challenge. But first of all, I believe that this situation will come to an end. I mean, we are social beings. We need to be close to each other. So this can't be forever, okay? So this is my first statement. I believe we will vanquish this virus. And so I will again show you a few little pictures that might be nice for you to finish our PowerPoint. Okay, please, so yes. Listen, I think all of us, we saw these pictures about our cities suddenly empty. So this is one from the Paris. This is Eiffel Tower Square. So it was never empty. So now today, this is the pictures. Some photographers, there is some competition now of beauty of the city without people. But okay, I don't believe in this. We could always also see some nature coming into the city. You also had, I saw from India, some funny pictures, and in Paris we have ducks from the river. So what would be, I think first of all, we have to give more space to pedestrians at this situation now when it's a COVID situation, we have to have more space when we're walking. So we have to maybe close some roads and opening to the pedestrians. And also we have to make more space for the bicycling. So now in Paris, this is a new big business. It's selling bicycles and they're importing, and there is no factory opening. So that's the big new thing. And at the end, I think generally we have to give more place to the natures in the city. If we're talking about the cities, we have to leave this space for the nature that as for today, we were obstructing. So just open space for the nature and give space to the nature. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And since we have really, the interaction is going really great and I'm really enjoying it, but the time has a limitation. हमें भी मर्यादा में रहना है. So we cannot even allow this thing. So it is very difficult for a person like me who is just a rookie and you all are the stalwart to summarize this kind of large panel discussion. I just try to put some of my words. I can say that the all efforts of government making a cleaning river, and it requires a lot of social responsibility. associations like Rotary Club, IPA, Jeevit Nadi, they are doing their bit. And to make it more successful and achievable, I think all of us who are listening to us through this channel, who are part of our association, they need to give their individual support. And as Rotarian Ranjan Dhingra ji said, that service is the word. The moment you connect to with the service word, you become part of it. Right? The Shailaja ma'am said, the day you take the ownership, even a small bit of that, you become part of it. If we all want to become part of it, the technocrat, Dr. Rajesh ji said, he's doing a lot of his bit to make it possible. He's working with the government. He's trying to bring the change, what he sees with his knowledge, and what he sees that this kind of a changes will change the country, what the country needed it. And architect Sibila is doing wonderful work, and she's trying to make the beautiful world in a different part of the country world that she's working, and she's trying to bring and giving her knowledge and her depth, and giving a life to the rivers in that way. So I feel that if all of us join together, connect together, and bring the change, then only I think the kind of a session we had, we can summarize on those words. I'm really sorry. It was beyond. It was amazing to know. So I would request Shankar Gimeji to give a vote of thanks to all of these panelists who is part of our panel. Shankar
can I intervene, Sandeep ji, with your permission?
Yes.
IPA will work with all of you because we have a responsibility to give back something to Mother Earth. So I will connect with all of you to see how we can do something for society. Thank you. Thank you for being part of the.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. Thank you, Gurmit ji. It was a very wonderful session. I could see the chats that many attendees appreciated the content given by the all panelists. Excellent panel discussion, and there are many takeaways from this one. That is the Jeevit Jal from the Rejuvenating Water of Life. That is, one is the respect the water. That is one. Second is the reuse, recharge, and recycle. What is what Mr. Gurmit Singh ji are told. And again, the COVID-19 situation has given that the rivers are clean. So that is the big the rivers don't need the cleanliness as such. If we don't pollute it, so definitely rivers will automatically clean it. That is the takeaway of this one. So stop polluting the rivers. So with this one, I want to thank you, Indian Plumbing Association, to organize this panel discussion, to reach out to the peoples across the globe, because today attendance I could see that across the globe, from the Europe, Russia, Middle East, Southeast, apart from the India, the attendees are there. This I want to thank you, Rotarian Ranjan Dhingra ji, for his wonderful insights given on the Rotary, what they are doing. I want to thank you, Shailaja Deshpande, for sharing her knowledge on the Jeevit Nadi, and definitely we are delighted to know your work about it. We want to thank you, Dr. Rajesh Biniwale ji, to give the complete technical insights about the rivers and the water treatment and the present situation of the water. And definitely, I want to thank you, Sibila from the Paris, and of course, sharing the very good you are going work at Nagpur. And of course, I am from the Nagpur, but definitely I am delighted for your work. And definitely, please continue to come to Nagpur again after COVID situation. Definitely, we will meet again. And apart from that, Gurmit ji, thank you for as a panelist. Of course, you are the chairman of the IPA also, and extending support to other now Rotary also to extend the training session about the Save Water. And I especially thank you, Rajesh Biniwale ji, to wearing the I Save Water lapel pin. That is the mission of our IPA, and definitely everybody is contributing to that work. Again, Chandrasekhar Gupta ji, Secretary of IPA, for introduction of this one. And again, apart from that, we are having supporting organizations, that is the ISRE for supporting this event. Then the Indian Institute of Interior Designers Nagpur chapter, they are supporting for this one. Then Indian IWQA, Indian Water Quality Association, they are also part of supported this session. And how we can forget our partners for this event, this Astral Pipes. We thank you for that one also. And the supporting staff of the IPA headquarters for organizing this event. Thank you everyone, and thanks. And I stay connected to IPA for our upcoming sessions. Definitely we'll get in touch with you, and stay safe and stay at home. Of course, now the certain offices started, but stay at office also with all care. Thank you so much and good evening.
Thank you, Shankar. A lot of people have been asking me for this recording. It's already on Facebook. If you go to the IPA website, you will find it there. And all of us can see it again, or the participants can see it again. Anybody can see it. It's available. It was live on Facebook, by the way. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. See you.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Thank you, sir.